So, we studied about diminishing marginal rate of technical substitution, and we also studied diminishing marginal product. So, let us see, do not get confused between these two terms, because it is very easy to get confused. So, let us look at graph and try to understand how these two things are different. Okay. So, first let me say, let us take, these are isoquant, fine, and what we have, let's say on y axis we have capital and x axis we have labor. Okay. Let us say so these are three isoquants, Q1, Q2, Q3, fine. Here we have L1, here let us say it is L1 plus 1, here it is we have L1 plus 2. Can we say anything about Q1, Q2 and Q3? If let us say when we talked about diminishing marginal product, what did we say? That eventually, may not be in the beginning, but eventually the marginal product of an input starts diminishing. That is what we talked earlier. Let us say that diminishing marginal productivity has already set in at this point. Okay. So, this is not the case that the marginal productivity is increasing when we increase labor beyond L1. So, what I am saying, we are moving from L1 to L1 plus 1, L1 plus 1 to L1 plus 2, and capital is fixed at K naught, and these are the three isoquant Q1, Q2, Q3. Can we say anything about Q1, Q2, Q3, any functional relation we can talk here? Oh, that we know that this is given the way we have talked about isoquant, we have talked about monotonicity. So, that is given that Q3 is greater than Q2 is greater than Q1, that we have already talked about. But if we bring the concept of diminishing marginal productivity, can we say anything more? That is the first of all, diminishing marginal productivity has nothing to do with the slope. That is what we are talking about now, but what you have said is not correct. Q2 minus Q1 is greater than Q3 minus Q2, because it is diminishing. What we have done here, we have fixed the K naught, okay, and what we are doing, we are adding labor by 1 unit. So, of course, as labor is being added, Q2 will increase, output will increase, okay, but by how much? We can quantify the increase by Q2 minus Q1. Now, again at L1 plus 1, we are adding one more unit of labor. What we are getting is now Q3, but this addition, because capital is fixed, I have already fixed capital at K naught. So, only we are increasing the amount of labor. So, what does the marginal product, diminishing marginal product says? That each addition is less than the previous addition, is subsequent addition is less than the previous addition. That is what the diminishing marginal product means. So, the subsequent addition is Q3 minus Q2. So, what we get, Q2 minus Q1 is greater than Q3 minus Q2. It has nothing to do with the slope. Is it clear? Fine. Okay. Now, let us look at it again. What do we mean by diminishing marginal rate of substitution? DMRTS, diminishing marginal rate of substitution. What we are saying here, we are taking one isoquant and we are not fixing the capital or labor. What we are saying, of course, when we increase the amount of labor, let us say from L to L1 to L1 plus 1, we need to decrease the amount of capital to produce the same amount of output. So, what is important here, that we remain on the same isoquant, that is let us say Q naught. So, what we are talking about here is that the marginal rate of technical substitution keeps on decreasing as we keep on increasing L. So, here the slope is, this is the slope. Now, the slope as L increases, slope decreases, and what does the slope represent? Slope represents the marginal rate of technical substitution. So, as we increase labor, the slope keeps on decreasing. This slope is steeper than this slope is steeper than this. So, DMRTS is diminishing, simply means that this slope is decreasing, the shape of isoquant is like this. Okay. So, do not get confused, when we talk about diminishing marginal product, we jump from one isoquant to another isoquant, keeping the one of the all other inputs fixed. In our case, we have only two inputs, so we keep the capital fixed and we are talking about changing the labor. So, marginal product of labor we are talking about. Okay. So, we move from one isoquant to another isoquant. But here when we talk about diminishing marginal rate of technical substitution, we are at the same isoquant. We do not keep inputs fixed. What we keep fixed here? We keep the output fixed, that output is equal to Q naught. Okay. And as of course we are increasing labor, it is decreasing. Another way to look at it is, because here we are defining MRTS as dk by dl, one can change the terminology and one can define it as dl by dk. In that case, we will keep on increasing k and dl by dk will keep on decreasing, because we say marginal rate of technical substitution diminishes. Fine, is it clear? So, do not get confused between these two, and it is very, believe me, it is very easy to get confused between these two. Fine. So, theoretically clear, graphically clear.